What is going on, YouTube family? I just want to get on here, talk a little bit, promote myself again on my other channel that I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. It's going to be my sports channel. It's called Wager Me Sports. It's real simple, all one word. If you search it on Google, it'll take you right to it. If you search it on YouTube, as long as you put it all in one word, I believe it'll take you right to it as well. I did my first baseball picks on it. They're definitely, I went 4-0-1 yesterday on my baseball picks. Guys, they're all over and under so far. I haven't added in none of the just game winners because that system hasn't been as consistent. So, it's just the over and under system, and it went 4-0-1 yesterday for the very first video, so that was pretty good. Hello, Cleveland Boxcar, how are you? I'd really appreciate it if you guys could jump over there and subscribe, because I need to get to 1,000 so I can go live, as well as make money on it. That's part of it too, but mostly I like to be able to do live. I prefer. Yeah. Hold on. I got to get to this bad spot and we'll be good. So I prefer live videos, mostly because there's no hiding anything. There's no, there's no redos and all that. So I prefer the live videos. Actually, believe it or not, I really don't like to record videos because there's, I don't know how other people do it, but guys, I only ever record videos one time. I've never edited a video, so I actually don't even really know how to do it. I tried to do it a little bit. I was gonna put in like an intro and an outro and all that, like YouTube says you should do, and everything to drive more followers and all that, but I just couldn't figure out how to really do it. So, and I had editing software and everything. I'm just not very techy. I was trying to do it. I have a green screen and everything. I just wasn't very good at it. So I just kind of gave it up, and I was like, you know what? I'll just do it how I do it. So guys, when I make videos, I make them one time. Whatever happens, happens. But I prefer live videos. The problem is the live videos, as far as YouTube and making money on them goes, they actually don't do nearly as well as the recorded videos. And the reason being is because YouTube doesn't monetize them the same and all that. And because most of your views come on the live, at the live, not people rewatching them. So, but eventually I would like to transition to only live videos, where I do only live. Hopefully, eventually it'll get there. But that's definitely why you see other content makers and stuff, they do a lot of recorded videos, because it has to do with how it pays. The recorded videos pay much better, they pay much easier, and that's kind of how it goes. So, like other gambling channels, like the big ones like Slot Lady and Brian Christopher and all those, that's why they do so many recorded videos and so few live videos. It has to do with how it pays. But anyway, so that's just some insight into the YouTube world and how it kind of works. But again, I am trying to get my sports side up to 1,000 subscribers so I can go live and do those shows live. Talk show twice a week, but I don't want to do it. I want to do it live. That way I can have interaction with you guys. Right there, not through comments. Actually interact with you, and possibly eventually get to the point where I can take phone calls and all that, and right there on the show. But of course we'll have to work to that. But first step is to get to 1,000 so I can go live, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to get there. We'll be at 100 probably by the end of the week. We're at like 80 something now, so that's great. But definitely I'm about to put some sports pics out when I get home, but again, it's on that sports channel. I have to do it recorded. So yeah, that's right, low techies. So I have to do it recorded because I can't go live, but we're working on that. We'll get there. But I just want to let everyone know kind of where I'm at. Other than that, Colorado's still 100% June 20th. I'll probably leave the 21st, but yeah, it's 100% go. I'm going to be leaving out. I will be in Colorado probably June 22nd, because I won't drive all the way through. There's no reason to do that. And I'll get situated there, and I'm going to start moving into the stuff I want to do there. But I definitely got some big plans for that, so you guys will be a part of that. And we'll see what happens. We'll see where we're at on all that. Yeah, again, I'll have to get there. St. Louis, for me to go to St. Louis, it has to be just a direct trip to St. Louis, because I don't really have, outside of going up there and playing craps and hanging out with you, I don't really have another reason to go there. So, because I'm not a Cardinals fan or anything like that, so it has to be just a direct trip, which is no big deal. It's just I have to get to that point where I can do that. And right now, this move and my wife's health conditions and all that are what is paramount for me. But I do have the intentions of going to those multiple places, not only St. Louis, multiple other places that other people want me to go to. I have to get to a point where I can do those things. I have to have help, and that's what we're going to Colorado for, where I'll have my parents to help out, so it will free me up to do some of these things. But yeah, so a couple other things. I put out a video about me having really good light side success lately without making any money, because I've been knocking myself off by don'ts. And guys, it's not just happening in my videos I'm recording, it's happened at the casinos. And I'm beginning to wonder if I don't need to adjust something in my throw and have two throws, basically, like a lot of people do. Have one throw to get a point set, and then another throw to avoid that. And I haven't been doing that. I've been basically just attacking one direction all the time, because for so long I was pretty consistent at between 5 and 8 throws no matter what set I threw. And so I knew that I was gonna, and I didn't make a lot of points. You know, I didn't have a lot of, you know, point winners. I had mostly losers. So I really got heavily into the dome. But for whatever reason, my either my shot has got better, or I'm just going through a very, very odd good stretch, which could be the case. It could be just that I'm just on a good run as far as that's concerned. But so that's why I put that out there. I mean, what's funny about that video is that video starts out with 2.7 outs and then ends up making like $500 or $600. So it's kind of a weird deal there. But that's how the light side works. If you're going to play light side like that, you're just going to attack straight out. You basically are just, you know, picking a number of shooters and hoping one of them goes long, or hoping one of your shots goes long, and that's how you make all your money. So it's kind of like an all or nothing type of deal with the light side in that fashion. But again, we'll see. I got more and more and more practice to do. So, but a lot of my videos lately, I've just been hammering my don't points, knocking them off like crazy, and not just the 6s and 8s. You know, at first it was just the 6s and 8s. And I wasn't too concerned about that because 6s and 8s are only one combination away from the 7. So it's, I mean, they're not all that much different. But when you start knocking off the 9s and the 10s and on a regular basis, I got something going on there. That's not going to cut it. Not from the dark side. Again, guys, when I started, when I started developing my own strategies, as opposed to just using my grandfather's, I was all light side. I loved the light side. I thought it was the way to go. I was trying to be a dice controller. That's what I thought I wanted to do. And it just failed miserably. I did terrible at it. Again, I tried to do it too quickly. I didn't give myself enough practice. And try to be, you know, really, really serious about the practice. I wasn't doing any of those things. Well, then I did start doing them, and I saw some improvement. At one point in time, guys, I was able to shoot 10 pretty consistently. And I know that's not great, but that's pretty good. 10, and most of them were box numbers, you know, pretty high rate of box numbers. So at one point, but the problem with it is it really didn't make all that much money. I could make more money doing the same exact thing, but playing the don't, because I wasn't hitting my don't points. And so that's why I just transitioned more and more and more. Hello, Brian Williams. More and more and more into playing the dark side. But now, after a couple 100,000 more shots and just understanding the dice control aspect of the game so much better, I actually think I'm getting better, which is really, really weird for me, because my craps philosophy has changed a couple times, and then I move away from it and like something better, until I developed the game that I have now, where basically I'm a hybrid player that plays the 7 and plays light side. So for the most part, I play light side. I like playing on that side of the bets. I want to make numbers. I want to win with probability. But what ends up happening, if you're hitting the don'ts, you have to make so many other wins that you might as well just be shooting the light side. So I need to figure something out there, and that's one of the things I'm going to be working on, to see if I can't. My first thought is to have 2 different shots. Have one shot to get a point set, and one shot to avoid it, and see if I can't still manufacture, because I still think that the way that I prefer to play is the most consistent way to play craps. And I'm talking overall. That I do believe that. I do believe that playing with a huge probability advantage and playing the 7, you're going to win far more times than you're not going to win. And then it just comes down to discipline. So I do think that is the most consistent way to play. The problem is if you're rolling your don't points, it's not. And so that's my big issue right now. I got to quit rolling those don't points. I don't play very heavily on other shooters. In fact, a lot of times I play very minimally on them. I almost exclusively only play on myself. I will put bets out there, but it'll be very minimal. And so most all the stuff that I do, and most all the times I get knocked off are myself. And so I need to remedy that. Another thing is I need to figure out a way to roll 7s. The 4-2-4-2 does work for me. It definitely does. And it worked when I was playing the other day. I tried it too late. I tried to get to it too late. I should have been using that to my advantage earlier. I got there way too late on it. But again, guys, I was all in for basically $500 on a 10, on a don't 10. So, I mean, I couldn't be in a better situation. I just lost. I mean, you know, I was a 2-to-1 favorite. So, yeah, I mean, any kind of no system where you're trading the 7 for a number is good. It doesn't, honestly, any number you use is good as long as you can avoid it. I mean, it's just effective because you're taking and getting 6 winners and trading it out for, in your case, 4 losers. I mean, that's a good deal, you know. That's a really good deal. So it's the most consistent way to play, to trade that 7 out. And I know a lot of people don't like it because, you know, you either got to give up negative payout odds, or, you know, a lot of people just don't like to play the dark side. A lot of people just don't like it. They want to play the light side, and I mean, more power to you if you can do that. Hello, Victor. But it just, I can't be all light side. It just doesn't work for me. But lately, the dark side has been killing me. Well, you know, when I had 4 9s knocked off the other day, 4 9s. All over $100, $100 or over. And it just wiped me out. And then that's when I got to that 10. It can be natural variance, that's true. And when I got to that 10, I mean, I put it all in on it. I got a don't, and then it was 20x odds, so I was able to put whatever I had left on it. And it just, you know, I didn't win that one. Now, I wasn't shooting there either. Another guy was shooting. I don't know if I made a mistake there or not. Not really. It's still 2-to-1 because he was just throwing the dice down the table. So I felt comfortable with it. When he rolled that 10, I felt really comfortable. I was like, well, this is going to help. I was only going to get, you know, I was still going to be down some money, but I was definitely going to be in a much better situation. And he rolled about 7 times before he re-rolled the 10. So, like I said, guys, the other day when I lost that money, all those situations, I wouldn't play them different if I ran into them today. I would play them exactly the same because I think I played them right. I just lost because I was rolling 9s. So, again, that is a natural variance thing, and I know that. But I'm mostly about the shooting better. I'm talking about overall. Even my recorded videos and my live videos and everything, I'm just shooting much better. Like, from just a number of rolls standpoint, as well as keeping, you know, those rolls into the box numbers. I'm just rolling much better than I used to. Yeah, I was not using that. I was only using. I used two things. I used the cross 6 set, and then after I lost a couple times, I went to the barrel roll. I put it on 5-1, 5-1, and started rolling barrel roll because I just kept knocking myself off. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. And it actually worked. I had a pretty good shot with it. In fact, I got all the way down to just the 5 on the ATS and laid the 5 and made a little money on the lay. But yeah, I mean, the barrel roll was actually working really well. And I was doing it left-handed because I was on stick left 1. So I was just spinning those dice like that. And the barrel roll is very similar to the chopper throw. Very similar to the chopper. It's just, instead of being up and down, it's flat. But it's very similar. It's a very similar concept. I really, that barrel roll thing, when I was talking about it the first time I ever did it, it was really more of a joke. Hello, Mr. Taro, but it was really more of a joke. But I've used it at the casino a couple times now with pretty good success. So I'm gonna invest a little more time into it as well, and to see, because believe it or not, guys, from a dice control standpoint, from what I think that the dice, the revolutions of the dice, tumbling as opposed to like spinning like that is, because if it's sideways, it's spinning. If it's front to back, it's tumbling. Well, I think you have far less ability to manipulate anything on tumbling. If it's going either like backspin or front spin tumbling, just because it's so much harder to make them land flat and keep that tumble consistent. Where if you're spinning the dice, you're using that centrifugal force, and I do think from a scientific standpoint that if you got some of those people involved that could do those kind of tests, I do think you're going to see better results from a spinning type throw, just because it makes more sense for it to work that way, as opposed to the tumbling type throws, which are inherently random. So again, that's one of those deals where I'm just not versed enough in dice control, and I need more reps at it, and I need some more education on it to really speak on it. But just from my opinion, that's kind of what I think, is that the spinning is better than the tumbling. But all of them, I really, to me, the biggest part of dice control is about the velocity. Because if you can throw the dice with no spin and real soft, and they just stop right there, just a little bump against the wall and stop, I mean, them are the best shots I ever see. And those shots almost never come up 7. It seems like when they just barely land and just bump the wall, they're almost always good shots. So I really think velocity kind of has the most to do with it. I believe less and less that the dice set has anything to do with it. Just from my own personal practices, I can set them any different way, except for the 4-2-4-2. The 4-2-4-2 is the only one that I consistently get very similar results out of. But I really think that the dice set has less and less to do with it the more and more I delve into it. Because I can randomly set them and get good results. I can set them all one way, get good results. I can do it and get bad results. I mean, to me, it seems like I understand the idea of the setting of the dice, that you're trying to keep them on axis. If you're setting the dice a certain way, you're either trying to keep them on axis or you're trying to keep one on and one off. All right? And that's really your only two goals with that dice set, because you don't want both to go off, because then you have no idea. It's just random. All right? So you either want them to stay both on axis or one on, one off. Like if you're throwing a hardway set, you want one on, one off. So to me, those dice sets are very, very trivial. Hello, George. And I'm going to use George as a perfect example right here since he's here. Hello, Steven. George changes his dice set as he's going, and he gets good results. All right. Most people use the same dice set all the time. So that leads me to believe that the dice set has less to do with it than pretty much all the other stuff. Anyways, guys, I'm at home. I got to go inside here. Thank you for riding with me home. Appreciate it. And I'll talk to y'all later.